The good old days have been cut from this particular video for various reasons. Thank you so much for going down memory lane with me. Let me take you back and tell you a weird story, a weird tale about a woman named Shelly Ramshire. Shelly Ramshire lived on Crocker, Northwest, and as I said before, plenty of times, my mom and I lived in Crocker, Northwest years ago when I was really little. Well, not little, but probably about 10, 11 years old, maybe 12 years old. We lived down there, and we moved on, but then later on we had to move back here for various reasons. And my mom had moved out, found a place of her own, if you will. Me and my cousin Sean occupied the basement apartment there at Crocker, where I lived previously. When I growing up, we had occupied the basement apartment, and my Aunt Patty, my cousin Sean's mom, occupied the. They were going to rent to own or buy the place on land contract. That's a long story, but my brother's dad, Big Chris, we called him. That's a long story there in its own right. We won't go into that. But nonetheless, Shelly Ramshire occupied the top apartment. Eleanor Alexander and her husband Bob, or Robert Alexander, owned a place, and my Aunt Patty was trying to buy it off of them land contract or whatever. Like I said, that's a long story. We won't go into that. But and we will talk about Eleanor Alexander sometime down memory lane here, maybe soon. But nonetheless, Shelly Ramshire lived up in the upstairs apartment. Like I said, there was the basement, there was the main floor, and then there was the upstairs apartment. Shelly Ramshire lived in the upstairs apartment. My Aunt Patty, like I said, my brother's dad, Big Chris, lived with my Aunt Patty, and like I said, we won't get into that detail. But anyway, he would take my Aunt Patty to work, and then, Dockless was pretty far, about a 40 to 45 minute walk, for me anyway, taking Lake to First Street, taking First Street all the way up, till we got to, was able to cut over a few side streets and whatnot, and get over to Lincoln Way and head up the viaduct there at the Lincoln Way viaduct, and, go to Daco. It's about a 45 minute walk, maybe an hour sometimes, depends, but usually for me it was about 45 minutes. We used to actually run the across the highway there and take up the spillway there and kind of taken off. Me and my cousin Sean had found it. But nonetheless, back into the Shelly Ramshire story. Shelly Ramshire, she was weird. In more ways than one. She would come down, before we got ready to go, before Big Chris took me and Aunt Patty to work. Shelly would come knocking on the door. She used to get the lights on. Hey, Patty, you got a cigarette? Patty, do you got any coffee? She'd just bother her for no reason. Shelly was upstairs one time, and it was just sitting there, and all of a sudden you heard all kinds of bangs and stuff coming up from the floor, like she was up there, I don't know, just doing something or another. You heard, excuse me. Oh, man. Anyway, she like, you get out of here, motherfucker. Oh, shit. And my cousin Jeanette and my cousin Chris used to go up there, and they used to, my cousin Jeanette mostly used to upturn or overturn her furniture, grab her by the hair, smack her around, and steal her money, steal stuff out of her refrigerator or whatever it was. Nonetheless, Shelly Ramshire was just weird, very weird. And there was one time where Big Chris didn't take me to work because Aunt Patty was on vacation. And I come up just getting ready to go to work there, and Shelly's sitting there on her steps there leading up to her place, and I heard, And I'm like, Shelly, you scared the shit out of me. And she's like, her eyes are rolling in her head, like, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, so I'm just heading off like nothing, you know, like I gotta get the hell out of here. This is crazy. Nonetheless, like I said, she was schizophrenia, or whether it was demonic possession, or whatever it was. I had told Big Chris that I was going to call the exorcist and have the exorcist take care of her, exorcise that demon out of her. Shelly Ramshire, she moved out of there. She had locked herself out of her apartment, or locked herself. She had locked herself in her apartment or something or another or whatever, and she'd come out to the roof. There's like a roof, like a little peak roof, if you will, just a little bit there, like an overhang, if you will, there from the top of her windows there to the actual front door there of the main part where my Aunt Patty and Big Chris and them lived. Nonetheless, she was sitting there, and she had come out, or looking out the windows. Help me! I'm locked in my house. I can't get out of my house. I'm locked in. My cousin Sean, or my cousin Jeanette, and my brother Christopher, I believe it might have been my cousin Kristen as well, told Shelly to jump. Well, I'd say maybe it was about 15, 20 feet, give or take, from where she was, and she come out the window and jumped out, and she broke her legs. I broke my fucking legs. I can't get up. Help me! I broke my fucking legs. I can't get up. We're talking Shelly Ramshire. Like I said, I don't know if it was demonic possession or whatever it was, nonetheless. But she was a very weird person. And my Aunt Patty said that she saw her a while ago, and said that she was still kind of weird, but didn't go into the old. Thank you so much for going down memory lane with me. I'll catch you next time.